Hello, and welcome to the Fourth and Fierce podcast, football talk fierce and unfiltered, hosted by a Superfan. My name is MJ. Welcome to everyone who's taken the time and opportunity to click on this fan cast to discuss a sport we all love. As always, please like, follow, and subscribe. It costs that much. $0. Costs nothing to do that. You can subscribe on YouTube or Spotify at Fourth and Fierce. That's the number 4, THANDFIERCE. Or if you want to chat or argue with me, you can do it in the chat. You can do it in the chat, or you can email me at fourthandfierce@gmail.com. That's the number 4, THANDFIERCE@gmail.com. And we're talking football today, baby. I'm very excited. I got up extra early because I still have a real job because I gotta go to work, got bills to pay. But I wanted to get up really early and get this out here because this is a labor of love for me. I really love the game. I love talking about it, and I love talking about it with other people. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the games that we had for week 4. We're going to start with the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Okay, this game was Thursday night. It was all right. It was a pretty decent game. Cardinals did not look good the entire game. They didn't. They did not look good. They looked like they were struggling. Marvin Harrison had some drops. Ball hit him in the hands. I mean, you're a professional wide receiver in the NFL. How does the ball hit you in the hands and you don't catch it? Like, that's weird, right? Okay, but in any event, that game was pretty uneventful. Kenneth Walker had a pretty decent game, 19 carries for 81 yards. Kyler Murray had 5 carries for 41 yards for Arizona. I don't know what's going on in Arizona. I don't. It looks like they have the pieces. They just can't seem to get over the hump, so to speak. They just can't seem to put it all together. I honestly don't know why or what's going on, but I like Kyler Murray. I always have. They have McBride, who's an excellent tight end. They have Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, they have a decent offensive team. Defensively, they're middle of the road, but I mean, their record kind of reflects where they are. They're 2-2. I don't think this team will make the playoffs. I think that division is going to be a little tougher to kind of get through because everyone's pretty even. I still think it's San Francisco's division to kind of lose, if so to speak, but it's still a pretty it's pretty interesting to watch the decline of Arizona because I really like them. Looking at Seattle, I still don't think that Sam Darnold's the guy, but he's winning. And I mean, he's doing good. He's working with what he has. And that's the one thing I love about the NFL. You cannot be the guy. You cannot be the, Peyton Mannings or Tom Brady's or Patrick Mahomes of the world and still win, because it's all about how well you fit and the pieces around you. Now, I will never say Sam Darnold's a guy. He isn't, but he can win. Anybody can win here. This is a one at a time type of league. How you get to the Super Bowl and how you get to the dance is a string of downs. That's a Mike Tomlin quote, by the way. Y'all know I love Mike Tomlin. But anyway, Seahawks, they look pretty good. That running game is excellent. Darnold's pretty accurate. So I think they may be able to shake things up over in the NFC West, but we'll see how that goes. Next, we're going to travel to Ireland, where, ironically, I'm part Irish. How about that? We're going to travel to Ireland, and we're going to see the Vikings and the Steelers. Now, if you've ever watched this before, I am never rooting for a team in my division. Ever. I am a Lions fan. Lions, 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 Lions. This is what I do. I love the Detroit Lions, but I'm fair. Minnesota they looked okay. They did try to make a comeback in that fourth quarter by scoring 15 points. It was just a little bit too much Aaron Rodgers, a little bit too much Kenneth Gainwell, 19 carries, 99 yards, 2 TDs. It was just a little bit too much. DK had a good day. 5 receptions, 126 yards, 1 TD. I mean, JJ had a good day too for Minnesota. 10 carries, 126 yards. They just could not find the end zone because they had Carson Wentz. Now, I don't dislike Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz he's a decent QB. He did win a Super Bowl as a backup, I think. Or was he injured the year they won with Nick Foles? I don't know, with the Eagles. I can't really remember. But I feel like if JJ was in that game, things would have been different, but JJ was not in that game. So this is what you get. I mean, they were competitive. If I was the Steelers, I would. You should have beat them going away. I mean, honestly, this is just a testament to how really good that Minnesota team is. They haven't had the guy at QB in a minute, but they've been able to like win 14 games and be very competitive with, I'm going to say, average to mediocre NFL quarterback play, because they have so many other pieces. They really do. And I think that having Justin Jefferson and having that Jordan Mason as the running back, and that defense is, like I said, it's pretty decent. I don't see them losing if JJ plays. And that should be a problem for the Pittsburgh Steelers, because with everything that's going on in that division, Pittsburgh has a opportunity to really take this division. I don't know, in week 4, and we jumped off the bridge in week 2. But I really think that given the opportunities that it's being presented to Pittsburgh, they can definitely win this division. With what's going on with Baltimore, we're going to get to that game soon. I don't really know what's happening with Lamar. I do love Lamar. I'm sad for him. And also with Cincinnati, with no Joe Burrow, and Cleveland doesn't even know what they're going to do at quarterback. So Pittsburgh could easily win this division if they do this right. But you can't win when you're barely squeaking by a Vikings team with a Carson Wentz at QB, and that defense is like top tier. I mean, they barely beat them. It was a 3-point game. If you watch that game, it was pretty good. A surprise game for everybody this week was the Commanders versus the Falcons. Not me. I was not surprised. I like Michael Penix Jr. Everyone knows that. Commanders had started to back up Marcus Mariota, who looked okay. I mean, he looked okay. I mean, 16 for 27, 156 yards, 2 TDs and INT. They lost that game 34-27, but they looked okay. Like I said, again, if they had their quarterback, I think they would have easily won this game. I do. I think if they had him, they would easily won this game. But Marcus Mariota did okay. Michael Penix Jr. looked good. He looked good. He did throw an INT. He was 20 of 26. Pretty accurate. But that running game was all over the place. As you all know, I watch Red Zone. I don't know if you guys watch Red Zone. I hope you do. That game was chef's kiss. If you're a person who likes a running game, oh my God, they were running all over the place. I mean, it was fantastic. Bijan had a good game. That game was so exciting. If you're a person who likes an exciting game, I'm a defensive girl, everyone knows that, but I do love a compelling, exciting game. This is a really, really good game. So this is one of those ones you could really like. If you like that ground and pound running game, you should watch it. Bijan had 17 carries for 75 yards. That running attack was, whoa, it was great. Like, this is a really good game to watch. I think the total rushing yards for Atlanta was 128 yards. The total rushing yards for Washington was like right around 150. I want to say 147. This game was fun. Like, if you're an offensive person, this was a fun game to watch. It was a lot of back and forth. And I know people only want to see the exciting, the Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jacksons. I think all the games have some compelling elements. And even if you're not a fan of either of these teams, if you're a fan of the sport like I am, this game was fun to watch. And it was nice to see a quarterback like Michael Penix Jr. kind of coming into his own. I love that for him. Next, we're going to go to the the NFC East and the Giants versus the Chargers. Now, I still call them the San Diego Chargers because I'm a maniac. But in any event, New York won that game 21-18. Jackson Dart looked good. He did. He looked good. He had made a few mistakes. He is a rookie, but he didn't throw any INTs. He only had 110 yards. I've always said this. I've said this to people for decades. West Coast teams don't always do well when they travel to the East to play. So if you're a person who likes to bet, I do every now and again. I didn't bet this weekend. I'm not like a gambler or anything like that. But if you're a person who likes to bet and you see a team like the Chargers or Seattle, even if they're an excellent team, and you see they have to travel to the East Coast, especially during months like September, October, don't even waste your time. Pick the East Coast team, regardless of what it looks like. Do they win sometimes? Yes, but for the most part, that time difference, the weather, it's so different. Like it really can make a huge impact, and that's what it did here. They made the Giants look like the Giants of old. They made them look like Michael Strahan was still out there. It was crazy the way they were getting at Justin Herbert. The way that he never really got comfortable in the pocket. They never really got anything going, if I'm being honest. And then, Jackson Dart. I'm gonna talk about Malik Nabers. Scadaboo had a great day though. I mean, 25 carries for 79 yards. If they can keep up this type of play, I think they're going to be all right. But the sad part is Malik Nabers. I like Malik Nabers. I like Malik last year. I thought he was an excellent wide receiver. He's been able to do so many things without a QB since he's been here, and I think he's top 10 wide receiver, maybe top 5 in the league, especially considering that he didn't really have a quarterback. And to see him go down and know that he's out for the season, allegedly, according to my TV insider, Adam Schefter. I love Adam. It made me sad because as a fan, you want to see the best players out there at all time. You don't want to see backups. You don't want to see. I mean, you want to see people get their chances, but you want to see the Malik Nabers make the dynamic catches. You want to see that, and to see him go down like that was just so sad for me. I was really hurt for him. I'm glad that the Giants did come away with the W, but I'm so sad for him. Oh, Malik, honey, I'm sorry. Get well. He'll probably never see this, but I hope he does get well, and that's what's important. Rehab, take your time, come back. If you have to come back next year, didn't do that, but I have faith in you, and as always, I'll be praying for your health and strength. Who didn't have any strength was Tennessee Titans. They looked bad. I mean, they lost to Houston 26-0, and they looked bad doing it. Cam Ward was 10 for 26, 108 yards, 1 INT. Houston needed this win because they were struggling. Both these teams, neither of these teams had a win going in. Okay. I thought it would be a little bit more competitive, but again, division games, you can't really test those. Division games are a little different. The funniest part is Cam Ward getting on TV after and calling the team ass. That was hilarious. The reason that was funny to me is because that's a young person and a college type of take, and it's okay. I know that they're going to fry him in the media and say things like, oh, you can't say that. You have to, be more poised. I don't think that's the case. I don't. I feel like you should be able to say the things that you feel. This is America. Now, are you free from consequences? No. People can reply and they can feel how they want to feel about what you said, but I will always defend your right to say it. If you want to say it, say it. And this is how he felt. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. I don't know. Now, depending on what type of people he's playing with, this will either light a fire under them to be better, or it'll shrink them back and it'll disconnect them as a team. So this will either be motivation for that team, or it will be what is their ultimate unraveling. They did not play well. I mean, they laid an egg, and on a very beatable Houston team has a just not a very good offensive line. CJ Stroud's been running for his life, all year. But I know the media's attacked him and said he should be quiet. I don't think people should be quiet. If the media gets to talk, why can't the players? We get to get on here and say what we think and what we feel. Why can't he say that they played like ass if that's how he felt? He didn't say they did. He didn't say y'all did. He said we. So he took ownership in that as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. I personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I hope they get better. A lot of rookies struggle. Like I said, he's not in a terrible position. He does have a decent wide receiver. I think he has Ridley as his wide receiver. He has Pollard as his running back, so he has some veterans in there. I feel like they'll turn it around. They'll be like 3-14 or something. They'll get a couple games. I'm not too worried about them. I just hope that this doesn't disconnect them as a team. Because depending on, like I said, who those players are and what type of locker room you have, it could definitely do that. Speaking of a team that plays all around well and fantastic, let's jump to the Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a battle of the undefeateds. Both teams winning here at 3-0. Tampa Bay has played spoiler to a lot of good teams. They played spoiler to my Lions last year. I think week 2 or something we lost to them. And I think they played spoiler to the Eagles a time or two. Eagles beat them 31-25. And I'm going to tell you this. So the media is just hammering the Eagles, saying that offense is not doing much or not doing too many things. Like, what are they? What are they? They're winners. Period. They can beat you with offense, with Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley. They can beat you with defense. They can beat you with special teams. They can beat you with a tush push. They can beat you without it. They can beat you faking it. This is what winners do. Now, I know the media has to get on here and say things like, oh, the offense doesn't look good, or they can't win this, they can't sustain this, but they have been. Why can't they? This is what it's about. Winners find a way to win in every situation, and the Eagles find a way to win. The fact that Jalen Hurts is still not getting the love and the props that I feel like he deserves as a top 5 QB, and I said what I said, he should. Jalen Hurts does not have to play well. He just has to play solid. Everybody it just looks like they were like, okay, so this week you guys are going to win the game for us, special teams. Okay, this week offense, you guys are going to just light it up the scoreboard and you're going to win for us this week. Okay, defense, they're very good at scheming and game planning and going in there and getting a W. And I don't even know what they're talking about. Jalen Hurts had a solid day. 15 of 24, 130 yards, 2 TDs, according to my notes. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, you guys correct me. But he also ran for 62 yards. Jalen Hurts deserves this respect. He does. He's top 5. There are very few quarterbacks playing as consistent and as well as he is right now. And since last year. But we're still not giving Jalen his props, and I still don't know why. He's going to always give them for me. I think Jalen's an excellent QB. Like I said, this team is put together to beat you however they feel like beating you in the moment. That's just what they are. They're very good. Don't sleep on the Eagles. As much as I love the Lions, and I do, that is the only team that gives me a little, makes me a little nervous. Now, do I think we could beat them? Of course, I think we could beat everybody. But looking at how they game plan and their scheme, like, kudos to those coaches, kudos to the players, like everything that they're doing, it's all around excellence, and it shows on the field. So, and you don't get to be the Super Bowl champions by doing nothing. Next we have the Panthers and the Patriots. Kind of uneventful. Drake May had a good day. He beat the Panthers. I don't know what to say. I don't. I did like Bryce Young, and this is what I mean. This league can destroy someone. It can't, especially a quarterback. If you don't come into the right situation, if you don't come in with the right owners, the right GM, the right coaches, and people that believe in you and put those pieces around you, you will struggle. And sometimes your career will be not what you thought it should be or what it could have been. And it makes me very sad because I do like Bryce Young, but they got rolled over 42-13 by the Patriots. I mean, they beat them pretty bad. It was hard to watch. Like Red Zone, it was so hard to watch. I don't remember. Red Zone was just bouncing back to everything else. We barely saw anything except them scoring every 5 minutes. But I mean, I think maybe it's time for another rebuild in Carolina. Maybe Bryce Young should go somewhere where he can be a backup, or I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I just know it's not working. Like, he looks all over the place. He looks like he's running for his life on every play. And I don't love that for him. And I don't love for the fans of Carolina. My dad was from Carolina, South Carolina. But I don't love this for them. And I really hope that whatever they decide to do, that it helps move them in the direction to be better, to be great. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints and the Buffalo Bills. This is crazy. Okay, so Buffalo went in there 3-0. The Saints are 0-4. And it looked like the Saints were going to win. It did for like about maybe 10, 15 minutes. But again, this is Josh Allen and the Bills. Of course, they won the game. They're 4-0. I think them and the Eagles are the only two undefeated teams left. It looked kind of crazy. The Saints looked good. I mean, Spencer Rattler looked okay. He didn't have a bad day. I'm not really a big Spencer Rattler fan. Like I said, part of me feels like they're tanking to get Arch, and I hate that. I don't want that. I don't want that for Arch, and I don't want that for the Saints. But Josh Allen came through and does what Josh Allen does. He wins. Like I said, he won. Good game. James Cook had a great day, 22 carries, 117 yards. I'm sorry, guys. I need my coffee. I'm just looking at my notes here. This came out to be, this game was very competitive, and it shockingly to a lot of people. I'm never shocked by that. I'm never shocked, because the NFL is such a strange place to watch games. Like, you could go in there thinking somebody's going to just beat the brakes off somebody and they'll turn up. Think about when the Lions beat Arizona. I think we were like, at the time, we were like one of the worst teams in the league. This was like 2, maybe 3 years ago. And we hadn't won a game, or we'd won one game. And Arizona was like the powerhouse at the time. They were just like, I think the spread was like -19. It was crazy. And we won. So you just you never know. Like I said, it depends on how you match up. It depends on, the game plan, who's putting things together. Like I said, you just never know. This game was competitive. The score does not reflect that. 31-19, Bills win. But if you watch that game like I did on Red Zone, you would see that it was competitive. It was competitive throughout the entire game. I mean, it really, really was. Okay. I'm about to go on a rant here, guys. It is what it is. Detroit versus Cleveland. Now, going in, everyone picked Detroit because, yeah. Now, a lot of people didn't think that we would win the way we did. I am not a lot of people. A lot of people thought, oh, the number one offense versus number one defense. Now, I am a fan of a number one defense. Everyone knows that. I've always stated, so as long as I can remember, defense wins championships, because they do. The number one defense has won more Super Bowls than the number one offense. It's just the truth. I mean, it's Googleable. You can look it up. But it was never a doubt in my mind that we would roll over this team for several reasons. Now, when they scored first and we had that 3-and-out, everybody's like, oh no, the Lions. Not me. Let me tell you why. They may have the number one defense, or had the number one total defense, and they do have an excellent defense, Mo, Garrett, all that. But what we have, like, no one was really talking about our defense, because, like I said, last year we lost everybody, and it was some scary moments in this game too with Aiden. But our defense is no slouches either. And when it came down to it, again, I'm very big on matchups. Our defense could roll over that offense in a heartbeat, and we did. I knew Flacco would throw a pick. He threw 2. I knew he would get sacked. I knew he would stay in that pocket because he has no legs, and he did. And I knew our defense would take advantage of that. And your defense is only as good as your offense allows them to be. And they were on the field too much. Because their defense was no match for our offense. They couldn't keep score with us. That was the difference in the game. I mean, that was the difference in the game, 34-10. It got so bad, like, to the end, that they were, I think Gabriel's in the game at the end. He didn't look good either. Don't sleep on this Lions team, okay? If we can maintain this defense, if we can keep everybody healthy, I don't see any team beating us. Maybe Philadelphia is the only team that I think we match up with well. Now, can you lose any given Sunday? Any team can. Everyone knows that. This is football, guys. And I'm a Lions fan, period. Lions. This is me. However, I'm very truthful about this. If you want to argue with me, cool. I'm cool with that. Why do you think I named this podcast Force and Fears? It's not because I'm no model. I named it fourth and fierce, so I will fiercely debate anybody on any NFL topic. I will, because this is what I do. And the Detroit Lions have the opportunity. That Green Bay game was not a fluke. Everyone's like, oh, that was a fluke. It wasn't. We weren't ready. We weren't prepared. We weren't doing the things we need. It looked like we were still in preseason mode. And this is why preseason is so important. You need to get out there and you need to get in those games and you need to show what your team can do. You need to show what you can do. And I think that was more of a preseason game for us because a lot of our starters didn't even play in the preseason. So yeah, all of our first game or two for the last like 4 or 5 years has been a little bit shaky. I don't think that Green Bay game was a fluke. I honestly don't. And if we have to play them again, we will beat them. And we will. We have to play them again. They're in our division. We're going to play them again. But we're not going to keep treating this Lions team like we're not one of the best put together teams all around. People thought we would be different because we didn't have Ben Johnson. We didn't have Aaron Glenn. But they forgot that we had Jared Goff, a number 1 overall pick, who is scary accurate. 16 of 27, 168 yards, 2 TDs, 1 INT. When we drafted Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round, everyone thought we were crazy. If you all want to go back and get a giggle, go and look at that draft. Everyone was like, the Lions, why would the... Jahmyr Gibbs is elite, top tier. There are very few running backs better than him in the league right now. 15 carries, 91 yards, and a TD. I'm just saying, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 carries for 70 yards, 2 TDs. He didn't even want to come here. He didn't even want to play on this team. No shade, it's the truth. But look at it. Look at us. Look at what we're becoming. This is the first time in my life, and I'm almost 50 years old. This is the first time in my life that we are this good on a consistent basis. I have been alive to see the Detroit teams win everything. I was here for the Bless You Boys in 1984 when we won the World Series. I've seen the Pistons win 3 championships in 89, 90, and 2004. I love me some Bad Boys Pistons. I was here for the Red Wings because we kept winning. That's what we're hockey town. I want the Lions to get to the Super Bowl more than I want just about anything other than the health and wellness of my family. I'm not even kidding. I've been waiting my entire life for this. I love this team. I have loved this team for as long as I can remember. I can't remember not loving this Detroit Lions team. I really can't. I was just talking to my mom. Yesterday was my dad's birthday. Rest in heaven, Daddy. And I was talking to my mom and we were talking about how she was like, I remember how your dad would just sit you on his lap and just explain all this to you. And you would just be all in because I was. This is important to me. And just getting to the dance. There's only 2 original NFL teams who have never been to a Super Bowl. Just 2. There are only 3 teams who have never been overall, but there are only 2 that have never been to the Super Bowl that are original NFL teams, and that is the Cleveland Browns and the Detroit Lions. There are only 3 teams who have never been to a Super Bowl, and that's Cleveland Browns, Detroit Lions, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I want to get there. I want to get there so bad. And these last few years, if you're a fan of the Lions, you know these last few years have felt so good. I want to get there so bad. So bad. And we look good. And we have an opportunity to get there. We just do. Anyway, kudos to the Detroit Lions. Number 1 defense where? Number 1 defense. Y'all almost put 34 points on y'all. Sit down. I said what I said. Next up, we have the Jaguars and 49ers. Brock Purdy is back in action after missing with turf toe. Turf toe really hurts. My brother played football. Turf toe is it's not as a lightweight as you would like it, as some people would make it out to be. That's a very difficult and very painful situation to be a part of. I've never had that. Again, I'm not a football player. I'm just a fan. But he's back after the turf toe. They did lose to Jacksonville. That game was very competitive too. A lot of little mistakes in that game too. I mean, it was a lot of little just... I don't know. Neither team looked great, but Jacksonville did come up with a W, 26-21. My main man, My main man, Trevor Lawrence, looked okay. 21 for 31, 174 yards, 1 TD. My son calls him Sunshine. Somebody in the comments that explained that's from a movie. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of NFL movies because they always are out of control to me. Like my favorite NFL movie is or TV show. My favorite NFL movie is Any Given Sunday. I know that's so stupid, but I love that one. And the original Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds. Again, I'm old, guys. Those are the football movies I like, but someone said it was like Remember the Titans or something. My son loves those movies, so my oldest son, he loves those movies, so I don't really know. But these are really good games. It's a really good game. McCaffrey had a good day. Brock Purdy, I think they'll get their, like I said, their sea legs. That's why this division is a little bit wide open when you think about it. This division is a little wide open when you think about who can win what. If the 49ers look like they're kind of in a rebuild stage, with some of the players no longer there, like Debo's in Washington. I hope to see what they can pull off. I do. We're only at week 4, so we'll see how it goes. Next up, we have the Colts and the Rams. Okay, so listen. I said Daniel Jones is not the guy, and he's not. I'm still going to stand by it. They're calling him Indiana Jones, which I think is adorable. And like I said, I hope he does well. And again, NFL is all about placement, having the right people around you, being on the right team, having the right. It's very, very. It's not like other sports where you can go in and just be dominant as one player. You need the pieces. It's just, there's no way you can win without it. And Daniel Jones looks good. Now, I stand by my statement. He's not the guy. If he was the guy, he would still be in New York. He's just in a good position here. And this is a very winnable division for Indiana, especially now with they're pulling away with this lead. But they did lose to the Rams. Again, everyone knows I hate Matt Stafford. I do. I don't care. They did lose to the Rams at the it's 20-27. They had every opportunity to win this game. Like I said, they had I think his name was Aditi or 80, I don't know. Caught a touchdown, ran it, and he celebrated a little too early and let the ball go, and it resulted in a touchback. Had he just held on to the ball, they could at least had a 1st and goal. And he didn't, and he fumbled in the end zone. And sloppy play like that will cost you. And I feel bad for him. We're not the sum of our mistakes. We're not what we've been through. What we've overcome. And I sincerely hope that this does not get in his head to a point where he, you have to have a short memory when you play sports. You have to. Think of Jameis Winston. I've seen Jameis Winston throw 4 picks in like the first half and come back and throw 4 touchdowns. I love Jameis Winston. He's follow him on TikTok because he's fun. You have to have a short memory. You do. And I sincerely hope this doesn't mess up his psyche. I hope he owns it. It happened and it doesn't happen again. That's it. Did it cost them the game? It could have, because that changes the score. Not only that, you gave the ball back to the Rams. I mean, it was sloppy play. A lot of penalties in this game. But I think the Colts will be okay. And this division is very winnable. Houston doesn't look good. That offensive line is not working there. Tennessee struggling with a new QB. Jacksonville is your only real competition. So it's very possible that Indy could win this division. I mean, it really is. But kudos to the Rams, Kyron Williams, and Matt Stafford. I don't like Matt Stafford. Y'all know that. Chiefs and Ravens. Okay, now, if you've ever seen this podcast, you know that I love Pat Mahomes. I've named several fantasy teams after him. My son loves Pat Mahomes. I like Pat. Pat's my guy. They looked so good, and I know it's because they got Worthy back. Rashard Rice will be back soon. He's got a little. Pat has a little rapport with the other wide receiver. I think his name is Thornton. So they're doing all right. But it's what I've been saying since I started this podcast, and what I've been saying for years and years and years, and years and years. Pat Mahomes is up here because every single time Baltimore and Buffalo always have the better team. They do. And everyone's like, oh, and don't get me wrong, Josh Allen is, he's like Cam Newton. Like, he's a big guy who has legs, and he's smart, and he's an excellent QB, top 5, period. I said what I said. But he can't seem to beat Pat. Pat seems to go in their house and beat them, invite them to his house and beat them, because he's in here. And I feel like that's what's happening with the Ravens. Because the Ravens don't look good. And everyone's like, should we panic? They're 1-3. No, that's a very winnable division. Again, they have no Joe Burrow for the rest of the season, I'm guessing. Oh, I love me some Joe. I'm sad about that. And then there's Cleveland, which they don't even know if they're going to do a QB in Cleveland. They have no idea what they're doing over there with the quarterback situation, with an alleged number 1 defense that we put 34 points on. But they don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. Joe Flacco's not the answer, and I like Joe. They're going to have to make a decision. They're going to have to make it now. They do, if they want to be competitive, because this is a winnable division. Same thing with Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers looks okay. They don't look bad. And if Baltimore is not careful, Pittsburgh will take this division from them. And say what you will, Aaron Rodgers generally shows up in big moments. We had to play him forever here when he was with Green Bay. So I know what he's capable of, and he has a good wide receiver. He has an excellent defense. So I know what they could potentially be. So Baltimore needs to get this together now. We can't have fumbles from Lamar Jackson. We can't have fumbles from Derrick Henry. And Lamar went out of this game with a hamstring. Now, I don't know if they kept him out of the game to protect him because the game was kind of out of reach at that point, or if he's really injured. I like I said, it's really early. I haven't got my Get Up fix yet. It'll be on in about 20 minutes. I'll be done with this by then. But I think that it's really, really important that they fix these little mistakes now, because if they do not fix them, this division is gone. Pittsburgh is going to run away with it. Because Cleveland, like I said, Cleveland doesn't know what they're going to do at QB. They have no flipping idea, which is insane. And it's the same thing with Cincinnati. I don't see Cincinnati doing anything without Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow made them last year. And people want to argue with me and say, oh, you're a girl, you've never played, or a woman, you never played, whatever. Fine. I'm okay with that. I have no problem with these debates and these conversations. But what you will not do is tell me what I can't see with my own eyes, or what I didn't see. And the bottom line is, they would have never... Joe Burrow has carried this team for years. He carried them to the Super Bowl. And he is the most valuable player on any NFL team. Because now that he's gone, I don't know what this team's going to be. None of us do. We'll find out tonight when they play the Broncos, and I don't think they're going to win. But I'll get to that in a moment. In the event, the problem with the Baltimore Ravens and the problem with the Buffalo Bills is the same. It's Pat. It's because he's in your head. Because in most cases, you guys have a better defense. In most cases, you guys have better teams. He just seems to beat you. And that's more of a, you got to get Pat out your head. You know? And anyway, like I said, the Chiefs needed this win. They got it. Baltimore needed it, and they didn't. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes for both these teams. But it was nice to see Isaiah Pacheco get a touchdown like Isaiah Pacheco. It was great to see. It was good to see Xavier Worthy back. I like Xavier Worthy. You know, he's explosive. He's fast. He has great yak, or yards after carry. So he's, you know, this was a really good showing for them. But again, it's the Ravens. They always beat the Ravens. Last but not least, the boys versus the pack. Now here we go. It was the battle of Michael Parsons going back to Dallas to play his team and show them what they could do. And it looked like there was zero defense in this game. It was 40-40. It was 40-40 in overtime. Look, I'm not laughing. Really, I'm not. It was just, I didn't want either team to win, and that's what I got. I wish I'd have made a parlay ticket, because I don't like Dallas, and I don't ever want to root for Green Bay, because hello. And a tie is just sucks so bad. So you work so hard, you go through all of these things to end this game in a tie. And honestly, Green Bay had every opportunity to win this at the end of the game. It was poor clock management. They did not. They didn't execute well at the very end. They played this game not to lose. They didn't play to win. And you can't win in any sport playing not to lose. You have to play to win. I mean, period. That last little ditch effort that throwing the ball in the end zone in double coverage was not a good play, honestly, in my opinion. Again, this is my show. Get your own show if you don't like what I have to say, or argue with me. I'm fine with that. But the bottom line is that was a bad play. And then they only had 1 second left. 1 second. So they didn't have time. They were down 37-40. They had to kick that field goal. They'd rather take the tie than the loss. And honestly, I would rather win or lose. I don't want a tie. But this is fun for me because guess what? Guess who's number one in this division? Oh, that's right. It's the Lions. Okay, number one NFC North. Anyway, Kings of the North. All because you guys couldn't get it done at the end. And you should have. You had every opportunity to beat Dallas. You did. And the fact that you let them score 40. The fact that both of you, it's 80 points in this game is insane. Like, where was the defense? Where was the team that allegedly just mollywopped us in week 1? Where were y'all at? Y'all should have ran away with Dallas. Because I guarantee you we will. Anyway, those are all the games this week so far. You know, I usually record this really early, like 6 a.m. on Monday. 6 or 7 a.m. on Monday. I got a late start because I was up late watching that game. Be tired. In any event, we have the Jets and Dolphins tonight at 7:15. I'm going to take the Jets there. I think they can move past the Dolphins. And we have Bengals and Broncos. Like I said, no Joe Burrow. No chance. Give me the Broncos. And let's do a little bit of next week's predictions. Let's jump on some of those. How about it? We got some bye weeks coming up. So I think this is our first week of bye weeks. So we have Niners and Rams. Give me the Rams. Vikings and Browns. I'm going to take the Vikings. Cowboys and Jets. Give me the boys. The Giants and the Saints. Ugh. I'm going to take the Giants. Colts and Raiders. I'm going to take the Colts. Dolphins and Panthers. I'm going to take the Panthers. Yeah, I'm going to take the Panthers. Yeah, I'm going to take the Panthers. Whatever. Broncos and Eagles. Give me the Eagles. Texans, Ravens. I'm going to see the Ravens bounce back. Give me the Ravens. If Lamar's playing. If Lamar's not playing, I don't know. Titans and Cards. Give me the Cardinals. Bucks and Seahawks. Give me the Bucks. Lions and Bengals. Come on, baby. Detroit. Commanders and Chargers. That's a toughie. Because I don't know if my boy Jaden will be back. Give me the Chargers. Pats and Bills. Give me the Bills. Chiefs and Jaguars. Give me the Chiefs. And those are my predictions coming up here for week 5. Like I said, this is a labor of love for me. This is very fun. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to watch this entire video. Like, follow, share, subscribe. It costs $0. I mean, it costs nothing. I appreciate each and every view, each and every like, each and every comment. I try to reply to everyone. As always, thank you for letting me fiercely debate and talk about the game that we all love. And in any event, go Lions.